Welcome in, everyone. This is Sean with MTG808 Jr., and today we're going to be looking at the top 4 decks from our most recent Youth Standard Pauper tournament. But before we do that, just want to make sure everyone knows about our upcoming Youth Championship Scholarship Tournament. We have finalized the date and location for the tournament. It's going to be Saturday, May 12th. At Dirtle Zone, which is a local card shop here on Oahu, in Aiea, which is by Pearl City. We'll be giving away $750 in scholarship prizes, $500 to first, $250 to second. And you should definitely follow us here on YouTube or on our Facebook page if you want to learn more. This scholarship tournament would not be possible if it wasn't for our lovely contributors over at Patreon. So if you support what we do, you love Standard Pauper, you want to support Youth Magic here on Oahu, please consider becoming a Patreon subscriber. You choose how much you want to contribute, and you get rewards based on the level of contribution. So we're going to jump into our top 4 here. So this is our top 4. We got Kyle, his twin brother Troy, Luca, and Aiden, so congratulations to them for making top 4. Kyle ended up taking down the tournament, coming in first, playing mono black vehicles. And we're going to be taking a look at each of their decks today. Not too closely, but just a brief overview. We will have links to the text versions of the deck if you want to look at those, so these links will be in the description. But for now, we're going to take a look over here at Magic Online. So, this is our first place deck, played by Kyle, mono black vehicles, and he's only playing 4 vehicles, but he's got a lot of synergy going on with the vehicles. Most notably, Night Market Lookout. 1 mana, 1/1. Whenever Night Market Lookout becomes tapped, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. Right, so this is a very efficient 1-drop for aggro. It can attack and essentially deal 2 damage, right? 1 damage in combat and then 1 damage from the triggered ability. But this guy gets really powerful when you have a Sky Skiff in play, because even if you're not going to be attacking with the Sky Skiff, you can still tap Night Market Lookout to crew the Sky Skiff. So against me, Kyle beat me in the end boss match, and he had multiple, I think in game 3 he drew 4 Night Market Lookouts over the course of the game. I was able to deal with 1 of them, but then the last 3 just kept draining me for 3 every turn, and I couldn't race him. He was gaining 3, I was losing 3 every turn, as well as he getting attacked. So this is a nice, very powerful little combo here, and the best part is that it's very, very cheap, right? One of the key features of this deck is that it is very, very low in overall casting costs, right? All of his spells, he doesn't have anything in his deck that costs more than 3. So he's got 12 1-drop creatures here. He's got 7 1-mana combat tricks to help push through his creatures, and then a couple of 2-drops, some 3-drops, right? And then just a little bit of removal, but mostly combat tricks here. So this deck is very, very lean, right? It really just is hyper aggressive, maxing out on 1-drops, right? These 1-drops aren't necessarily all that powerful in and of themselves, but having so many of them, he often is able to just overwhelm his opponent before they can really get a foothold on the game. So big props to Kyle. We will be doing a more in-depth deck tech on this in the coming week or weeks, and so keep an eye out for that. One kind of story I wanted to mention before moving on is when Kyle played against Aiden in the finals, he kept a 1-mana hand and didn't draw his second land until maybe turn 4 or 5. It might have been even 5 or 6, because so he looked way behind the whole game, but then Aiden ended up flooding out a little bit, and Kyle was able to just use his cheap combat tricks to trade up in combat, right? Aiden was playing his 3-drops and his 4-drops, and the 1-drops paired with supernatural stamina were able to just kind of take them out in combat. Eventually, Aiden ran out of gas, and Kyle's horde of 1-mana creatures and some 2-mana creatures to back them up ended up taking game 1, even though he had only 1 mana for the majority of that game. So that's just one example of how powerful the deck is. when it comes to just playing the best 1-mana spells in black. Alright, so that is Kyle's deck. In second place, we had Aiden. Aiden has been... He came in second place today, or at this tournament. 1 week ago, he came in third place in the tournament over at Westside. And then 2 weeks before that, he came in second place again at another tournament over at Westside Comics. So Aiden is quickly proving himself to be one of the stronger contenders in the youth scene here. He has not won a big tournament yet, but he did win one of our smaller... We ran a 3-man tournament when we didn't get that big of a turnout. I think it was in January. And he did win that tournament. But he has yet to win a decent-sized tournament yet, and I know he's hungry for it. But he's been basically playing this blue-green Merfolk deck the entire time, and he is just getting really good at it. Gift of Strength is kind of his own little tech on the card, right? I've been recommending Hone Kopesh in this slot, but Gift of Strength has really done a lot of work for Aiden, especially when it comes to winning unexpected combats. So, I'll tell this story now. So Aiden was playing against Luca. Luca was playing blue-green auras. Luca has won a tournament with this deck before, so we know that this deck is proven. But Aiden and Luca were playing. They both had Jade Guardians with, Cartouche of Knowledges on them. And then Luca played a Cartouche of Strength on his Jade Guardian to take out a creature, and then attacked. Well, yeah. And where is it? Aiden blocked with his Jade Guardian with a Cartouche of Knowledge on it, and then ended up casting Gift of Strength to win the combat. And, I guess Luca must have put the Cartouche of Strength on it the turn before, because it did not have any damage on it. But Luca thought he made a safe attack, because his Jade Guardian, his big giant hexproof creature, was bigger than Aiden's big giant hexproof creature, but the instant speed combat trick really turned the tables on him. So, we've done a deck tech on Aiden's deck in the past. You can take a look at that if you want more details on the deck. He has become so comfortable with his main deck that he did not register a sideboard this time. He has registered a sideboard in the past. I guess he just didn't use it, did not register a sideboard for this tournament. But his main deck is basically the same. I think he cut one Jungle Delver and added one Unsummon. That's the difference from last week. But yeah, Aiden, congratulations to Aiden, putting up a third really solid tournament finish in a row. Can't wait to see him finally take down a tournament. It's only a matter of time. Alright, coming in third place, we had Troy. Troy is Kyle's twin brother. They played against each other in the top 4, and Kyle's mono black deck edged out this mono red deck, but they are very, very similar decks. Right, sporting Skyskiff. Troy decided to play some Renegade Freighters to go along with the Skyskiff, so he's playing even more vehicles than Kyle was. Unfortunately, playing red means that you don't get the Night Market Lookout synergy to go with the vehicles, but the basic premise behind the deck is the same, right? Play a whole bunch of 1-drops, play combat tricks, right, to help push him through. He's got 3 built to smash, he's got some shocks, he's got some lightning strikes, and then he's got some really solid 2-mana creatures. Aether Chaser, Fathom Fleet Firebrand, and Thriving Grubs. I'm not sure how I feel about Headstrong Brute, since there's only 4 other pirates in the deck, but the curve here is very, very similar to Kyle's first place deck. I would highly recommend that Troy get some, what is it called? Fanatical Firebrand. So, Fanatical Firebrand, here we go. 1 mana, 1/1 haste. You can sacrifice it to deal 1 damage to target creature or player. I would definitely recommend that you get some of these in. I think that one of the strengths of this deck, or of just this archetype in general, right, as Kyle proved, is that you just want to be using your mana more efficiently than your opponent in the early parts of the game. So playing more quality one-drops, I think, would be a great addition to this deck. I think I like Fanatical Firebrand more than Fireshrine Keeper. Having Menace does mean that this guy can probably attack for a few more points of damage than Firebrand, but the flexibility of Firebrand is just so good. So I don't know what I would cut exactly for Firebrand, but I would highly recommend that this archetype try it out. Alright, another thing to note, one of the big incentives of playing red in this format is that you have, where is it? Cards like Blazing Volley, deal 1 damage to each creature an opponent controls, and Chandra's Pyrohelix, deal 2 damage divided as you choose among 1 or 2 target creatures or players, and then Dual Shot is another one. We've seen lots of people use Dual Shot to some success, deal 1 damage to each of up to 2 target creatures. All of these cards are very good in the aggro mirrors, right? If these one-drop decks kind of really take off, red decks are going to be in a really good position to take advantage of them. In the sense that you'll be able to kill multiple creatures with one spell, right? Blazing Volley can take out all of your opponent's 1-mana creatures. Dual Shot for 1 mana can take out 2 of them. Chandra's Pyrohelix is a little more flexible, but a little more expensive. But that effect of being able to kill multiple creatures with 1 toughness with just 1 card is going to be very good against strategies like this, right? Being able to kill multiple Night Market Lookouts or Blight Keepers or Aether Poisoners and Servo Tokens, right? If these types of decks become popular, then red is going to gain a lot of value because it has access to those cards. Alright, moving on to the last deck in the top 4, Luca. He has won tournaments with this deck in the past. I think he's won 2 tournaments with this deck in the past. And, he hasn't really changed much. He did main deck 2 unsummons. I think he moved some Metallic Rebukes to the sideboard and swapped them out for unsummons in the main deck. But generally speaking, this deck is very solid. The inconsistencies of this deck, that's the word I was looking for. So the inconsistencies of this deck, when it fails to draw a creature or the 1 creature it draws dies, it can be a problem. He did lose some games that didn't seem like he should have because there were some inconsistencies with the deck, but when this deck works, it's just so powerful. So you can't argue with that. We've done a full-on deck tech on this deck in the past. We'll leave a link to that in the description. If you want to find out more, you definitely can. But that is the top 4. So, if you like this video, make sure to hit that like button. Please subscribe to the channel if you want to get updates on Standard Pauper. Our championship tournament is coming up in 2 months. We've got just 2 months between now and the tournament. There is 1 set that's going to be released between now and the tournament. Dominaria is going to come out. And so in the coming weeks, we'll be looking at the Dominaria spoilers, talking about how they're going to affect Standard Pauper and the rotation. Or not rotation, excuse me. Nothing is leaving Standard Pauper. It's just that cards are being added to Standard Pauper. So it's not a rotation, just cards are being added. But that will shake up the format before our championship scholarship tournament. So, thanks for stopping by. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and I will catch you later. Peace.